Hey, welcome to American Reversion. I'm Steve Smith. Well, it's time to get back at it, talking about the state of this country and what we think we ought to do about it and all those kinds of things. Kelly and I just had the distinct displeasure of watching for the last few hours the Johnson County, Kansas Board of County Commissioners talking about whether they and their ivory tower should consider extending the, you know what, mandate countywide for another 4 weeks, 6 weeks, year, forever, whatever. Uh, and I have to say it was truly painful. Not necessarily their decision, but it was painful to watch such human idiocy. And something came to me that has only kind of tickled around the edges of my mind before. As we listened, of course, they let a bunch of people come up and speak, and because it's oh so dangerous nowadays, many of the people did it virtually. I think half these people are just virtual people; they're not real people. But they had a lot of people appearing by video and by phone and giving their opinions and making their statements as to what they thought should happen. Now, I'm all for that. That's a part of the democratic process in a representative republic. So I'm all for people expressing their opinions. That's one of the problems we have now in our country is people are being kept from expressing their opinions. So whatever opinion somebody wants to express, it's fine with me. What was I won't say surprising because it's not. I won't say well, I will say depressing because it is. But one thing that stuck out were the number of people, almost all of the people coming forward to speak, almost begged the county commission to extend the mask mandates beyond what they are now. Right now, our county does not have a mandate. They did for a while, and then we got rid of it, and they had it in schools, but now for some odd reason that nobody can explain scientifically, they require it up through sixth grade, but not above sixth grade in the schools. And this was one of the things that they were talking about today, whether or not to extend it, expand it, whatever. Well, the amazing thing was that the number of people who, in their whiny little voices and their attempt to sound extremely smart and caring, just almost begged this county commission to impose a mask mandate back on all the schools and the county. Essentially, please make us do it. Now, of course, we know that they're thinking about other people. Make them do it. But you see these people out and about. They're not wearing masks. Half the people on that commission don't wear masks when they're out in public. So what they're saying is, please make us wear masks. Okay. This brings us to the subject of slavery. Essentially, what those people are saying is, please enslave me. I know that recently there was a change of the terminology that was acceptable when talking about slaves and slavery. We're not supposed to say slave anymore. We're supposed to say enslaved person. Okay, because apparently the first is I don't know, derogatory, and the second carries with it the understanding that somebody else put these people into slavery. Okay, now I'm not defending that, but you know what? If a person wants to put themselves into slavery, who are we to stop them? If a whole segment, you should have seen one time. It's funny. It was funny. Years and years ago, Kelly and I went to a little get-together of a bunch of people who were a very, very interesting mix of folks who came together as a result of being listeners to the same program on a public broadcasting type of place, an NPR type of place, right? We all went down and met with them, and Kelly made the statement, well, she didn't see what was exactly wrong with slavery. And you should have heard the people explode. And she just got, I tried to keep a straight face, but they just railed, and she just looked at him and said, well, if a person wants to be a slave, what's wrong with that? Well, the idea that anybody would want to be a slave was, of course, beyond them. But that brings us to today. These people want to be slaves. I don't want to be a slave. You don't want to be a slave. But if a whole section of our country does, well, let me know what you think about that. If a person wants to be a slave, shouldn't they be allowed to be a slave? We're going to talk about this and many, many more things now that we're into the new year, and we're getting into a real interesting time as the next election comes up. We're going to see some foolishness and idiocy like we've never seen before. But here again, when you see these people wanting more control by the government, just realize they are pro-slavery. You all have a good day. Remember, this country needs a reversion, and it needs you to be a part of it. Send this around to other people. Spread it around. Leave a comment. Leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not. Help the algorithm, okay? Help this channel grow, because I'm going to do what I can with it, okay? You all have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.